Good day, everyone. Alice here from Sophie Financial Network. Today is May 30th, 2023. Here is another daily analysis with the market. Yesterday, market was closed. Today, first day of the week, and market just coming down. Not that crazy, but we were expecting some kind of like a downside, choppy for the next 2-3 weeks, especially when we are getting to the earlier June. Always it's going to be a volatile time, and also we just I believe I've warned everyone based on my previous videos, especially if you haven't seen that, the last one which I provided yesterday. I talk about the different charts, different macro charts, different ratios, and also on in the weekly analysis talked about the divergence in different indexes, especially Nasdaq and Dow Jones and Russell and S&P. They're just diverging from each other, so that's not a good sign, especially if you're bull. But let's see how it goes for the future. For the first week of June, we will have next week CPI number is coming, and also this Friday we will have NFP number for the month of May, which is going to be very, very important. So again, news are going to be kind of like a market mover. Today, volume was like 66 million just for SPY, which is a S&P 500 ETF. We got a confirmation yesterday. It was kind of like gapped up and then sell off all the entire session. It was futures market. It was not a regular market. So, but today it was like a stock market as usual, and people just continued to sell off yesterday. It was not that crazy, so we can see some kind of like a support from 41.76. Right now we are at 42.08. So if you remember, we were talking about 4,200 on a monthly basis. Tomorrow will be the last day for the month of May. Month of May, obviously, it's not that selling May and go away. So you see that we have like a choppy, but it was like an upward move, right? So it was not a crazy month. It was just a consolidation, and the choppy just is just kind of like ending diagonal to the upside. And what do I mean by ending diagonal? This means, so we are kind of like forming a choppy diagonal form to the upside. If we break down this area, so that could be a back test and then coming down for the sharper sell-off. So that would be kind of like a corrective move. If we take out this pivotal point, that's going to be ugly. We are going all the way back down here. So some people are just drew a trend line here. So there are lots of buyers are coming back. So this area is going to be very, very interesting to see how market is going to react. But right now, we are up there. So it's kind of like soon to just make a decision. We're going all the way down to here. I'm not sure, but we are getting close to the month of June. So month of June, especially first day, 10 days, first 10 days, first decade of June is going to be very, very volatile. And I just want to recall you, if you don't remember, I'm going to recall you right now. So we had this entire rally after COVID crash. This is the June. So we had I believe 6.5% down for just S&P 500 in one day. So this is June 11, so June 11, 2020. After this nice rally to the upside, and look at the divergence between here, price and also SMA 20, we had a very, very sharp sell-off to the downside. In 3 days, we get back here, so we just lost almost 10% the market. I know this one ended up to the next rally, but this was very, very ugly, and this was kind of like a brutal for lots of investors, traders. They just panicked and they said, oh my God, again, we are going to go back to this low. So right now we are just getting close to the month of June, and we had a nice rally. So this is October low. So we had a choppy to the upside. As I said, 2023, it's not going to be a bad year. It's just a chop year to the upside. So we are getting close to the upside target for the month for the 2023. I wouldn't forecast anything more than 43 to 4,400. So this is kind of like overshoot area if a market just go there. But I believe we have like a choppy to the downside here, but forming the base for the next leg up, which is going to be ultimate leg up. The maximum target, I should say, it's going to be just a touch around here, which is a 4,400, just above this August top, just below this candle. So if we see something like this, that's going to be the end of the rally, I would say, for 2023. And then we should see a sharper sell-off to the downside in 2024, as we have 6%, almost 5% inflation. So we have like a 4.5 a Fed fund rate, which is gonna be interesting to see how Federal Reserve is gonna react to the market for this coming session, June session. If they're gonna increase another 25 basis, I would say that is scary, just because when they go above 5% every single time, they crack something. And right now we are at a very, very important level. If you haven't watched my video again, so make sure watch yesterday video. We talked about this a lot. So okay, so moving on to Nasdaq, which is kind of like a leader these days, but not anymore. I would say Nasdaq is just hitting the top. So RSI daily chart, we are kind of like in overbought condition after a while, and overbought condition doesn't look bad. So basically, when we are getting into overbought condition, if we are in uptrend, you would see lots of overbought condition, lots of overbought reading. And that means you have got a good momentum to the upside. So probably market is going to dip down for another rally to the upside. But right now, we are not sure about, are we finished for the bear market? Have we been in a bear market? So do you think we are in bear market? I would say we are in a secular bear market, and this is kind of like a cyclical bull market. So we are in a cyclical bull market, which is based on the seasonality. Every single bear market, we have a bear market rally. And this is kind of like another bear market rally. If you just go with Fibonacci, so this is the November 2021 top. If we're coming down all the way to the October, we are just getting close to 61.8% Fibonacci. So that's why market is reacting. So lots of people are saying we're still in a bear market, and this is a relief rally, dead cat bounce, or bear market rally. We are just nailed it. And I was expecting this happen in months of June, August, but seems like Nasdaq was in rush. So we just got into this supply area, and to be honest, it is recorded in my previous video, I didn't expect this candle. So this candle kind of like overshoot to the upside, engulf this. But look at that. Here we have got another small supply area, which ended up to this supply area and ended up to the lower low. We got back test to this supply area. This is the August top. August 2022 top, ended up to the lower low. So right now we just engulf this, which is pretty bullish price action, but we ended up to this supply area, and market just show hiccups here. So Nasdaq is totally diverging from the other indexes. And based on the technology hype, AI, NVIDIA, and those ones, Nasdaq just boosting up. But how far this momentum can last to the end, to the like a finishing up the bear market, or this is gonna be the end? So that's kind of like a question mark. I would say this is kind of like interesting to see how we see a corrective move to the downside, which I believe we are going to see a corrective move to the downside, but I'm not expecting this corrective move ended up to somewhere around here. That would be kind of surprising for me. I would say we kind of like ended up here to this area, which is helping out with this demand area. So this demand area initiate this rally to the upside, initiate this engulfing from above August top. So we are due kind of like to see a back test. So if we see a back test to this area, so I would say this is gonna be the case to here, to this area for the next leg up. So then next leg up, we can see some kind of like this, ended up to the lower high, or we kind of like overshoot again to here, to this area. So the second scenario would be surprising to me. I would rather to see a lower high here Then we can see the other indexes again getting divergence from Nasdaq. And then we are coming down to this area as well. So we'll see how it goes, but this corrective move is kind of like a foreseeable forecast for myself for the month of June. So we can see kind of like a deeper correction to the downside for the next rally to the upside. So even if we get a small touch above this high and then coming down, that shouldn't be any problem. And if we see a divergence from here to here, that shouldn't be a problem as well. So we'll see which scenario happens. But the next move, I think it's going to be something like this ABC corrective move to the downside. The level that I'm looking at is a low 13,000. So 13,200, 13,300. That's going to be the possible scenario for NASDAQ for at least the first half of the month of June. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to US 30, which is Dow Jones. It is pretty interesting just because US 30 or Dow Jones forming lots of a bullish pattern, to be honest. First of all, in bigger picture, this is the first index nailed the bottom here. So this is kind of like earlier hit double bottom, pretty nice bullish action. Going all the way up to here, even Dow Jones before 2023 engulfed this August top. Nasdaq just did it recently. S&P hasn't done it yet. But Dow Jones in December 2022 engulfed this August top, getting back to this pivotal point. Right now, we are just a choppy to the downside. So this choppiness forms a pretty bullish price action, to be honest. If you call it as like a reverse head and shoulder, I have no problem with that. This is kind of like a neckline, stocking in this triangle. So if this one rips up to the upside, that would be pretty bullish to the upside, and Dow Jones can hit double top or even new all-time high this year. So that's what I forecast for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 months, especially in the summer rally. I would say Dow Jones can be the leader. And right now, this is kind of like a bullish price action, and this is kind of like a bull flag. And this flag, if rips up to the upside, that would be pretty nice bullish signal for the market, at least for some heavy names like a defensive, predictable names like a PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, or even financials and energy. Energy didn't do good, so that's why Dow Jones actually ended up to the negative territory today. So Dow Jones had a nice rally on Friday, but didn't have follow through. So still stocking in this range. So we'll see how it goes. But Dow Jones, I'm kind of like a positive in this name as well. So moving on to some individual names. Let's go here to yield. So this one doesn't show the full chart, sorry. So let's start in here with yield. So yield coming down today, and that was kind of like a relief for everyone. This engulfing candle on the top, kind of like a getting close to here. So yield had a very nice surge to the upside, but I would say yield shows the topping formation here. And this area is kind of like a forming another lower signal to the downside. So we'll see how it goes with yield. But if yield is coming down, so I would say somewhere around 3.5, high 2%, pretty close to 3%, that's going to be the possible scenario for later 2023 or even early 2024. So that's going to be the possible scenario for yield. But I think this is going to be the top. So you can kind of, you can just kind of thinking about buyback TLT again. TLT had a nice surge to the upside. So TLT is getting close to our buying level, and just want to accumulate more, possibly tomorrow again. So we'll see how it goes. But I didn't, to be honest, I had a problem to just transferring money from one account to another. So I just keep my position in TLT right now. If you're my subscriber, we had a decent, I should say this is the second largest position in my portfolio, TLT, and I believe that this one can outperform market in 2023, 2024. This is a pretty bullish pattern. I believe TLT and bond form the bottom here, and this choppy, if this one rips out to the upside, back test can be very, very rippy to the upside. So this is the area. So 114 to 120, that's going to be the first level. Again, back test for the last search, which is 130 to 140 for 2024. So if you ask me, anything that can give you like a 330 to 40% for the next at least year, that would be a good investment, especially when the stock market would be into trouble. You will see that when lots of technology stocks again getting back to the downside. So you will see that. So we'll see how it goes. Gold had a nice uptick today. So I got the buy signal, to be honest, from gold. So this is kind of like interesting because gold is getting back to the bull side, especially for the daily chart. So I would rather to see gold is coming down to this area to low 1900 or high 1890. That would be great buying opportunity. But gold shows a very, very nice reversal, especially in two time frames. So weekly and daily, gold gives me a buy signal. But weekly is not confirmed yet just because this is second day of the week and we have NFP number. But if weekly signals for the buy and continues to hold this area for the weekly chart, that would be kind of like a buying opportunity for gold. How far it can go? I believe gold can hit again 2000 and more, but I'm not sure above 2040. So this is kind of the level that I'm looking for. At least gold can have like a surge to the upside to 2000, 2020 if it holds this area. So that's going to be a big if. So if this one holds this area, which is 1930, especially low today, that could be very, very interesting to watch. Bad news was for for crude. Crude is coming down just because yield is coming down as well. So it's kind of like they have a very, very nice correlation to each other. So crude is coming down again. This forms a bearish consolidation to the downside. So if you ask me, it was not a good bearish consolidation, but seems like this pattern forms to the downside. So we can see another downside to here. And possible scenario could be a lower low, ended up to 61 to 63. And that could be the third lower low, which is kind of like ending diagonal here. So I'm just waiting for the pattern to forms. I'm not sure what type of pattern is going to form, but crude is struggling right now. It's kind of like a forming the base, multi-month space. And that could, if it goes above this, again, if crude goes above this, that is very, very bullish signal to go all the way above 108 to 110. Right now, crude is in multi-months base to see how it goes. VIX coming down. I know stock market was weak today, but VIX is down as well. So just close a 0%, pretty similar to the last, which is a Friday, I would say Friday session. So VIX doesn't show anything. Dixie, just a small doji bar here. Not strong pattern. So Dixie can go down as well. So here's the top. This is kind of like a nice Fibonacci level. If it goes down here, take out this pivotal point, this can go lower. I believe yield is going to be a mover for Dixie. Moving on to some technology stocks, Apple, just a doji bar on the top above this area. So it's kind of like overstretched over about, can go down all the way to here to see if it holds here, that would be kind of like the scenario for Apple. Right now, it's just overstretched and needs to come down, especially when you see Nasdaq is coming down as well. Amazon gapped up, but couldn't help itself. So it just closed negative today. Positive, but it's candle-wise negative. Like Meta, again, gapped up, but sellers took control coming down. So this is kind of like exhaustive candle on Friday. Microsoft coming down sharply. This is kind of like a dark cloud candle. And as I said, again, technology stocks, they're overstretched, overbought. don't gamble on it because they can hit still new all-time high, but not now. Google coming down 123. So this is kind of like a consolidation prior this supply area. So this consolidation needs to hold up pretty well. Even if it goes down to 160, nothing wrong with it to form this pattern. But if it goes down all the way to here, we should see, okay, probably that's going to be another move to the upside for longer term. But we need to see kind of this, if you're bull, we need to see some kind of like a this bullish pattern forms here. So we'll see how it goes. Netflix, pretty nice surge to the upside, but look what happened. Just sellers to control again. This is the level that I was talking about for Netflix. Netflix can ended up to 390, 393.94, and that's going to be the end. And today, just proof my analysis. Thank you, Netflix. Tesla, sharply going up above this dynamic trend line, but it was not strong pattern. We need to see continuation. We need to see above this, and we need to see above 220. We'll see how it goes. Semiconductors, they were pretty strong, especially last week. And last 2 weeks, I should say. Today, not a good candle. We just hit the top here, pretty close to the double top, coming back down. So there's to control. SOX, the same pattern. TSM, kind of like the same pattern. And AMD, the same pattern. So all in all, if you see semiconductors, they had fantastic move to the upside, but right now, they just need to cool down a bit. NVIDIA was a rocket star. This is a shooting star. So this is kind of like exhaustive candle. This is the exhaustive candle. We need to see NVIDIA gap down tomorrow. If that happens, NVIDIA is going to go all the way down to here. So we'll see if that gap happens tomorrow. Texas Instruments, the same pattern. This is kind of like a choppy, nothing special. Lam Research. This one, again, get back to the previous location area that I was talking about. 642 to 661. So that's the area we see the reaction. Right now it is overstretched. If it goes down below this, which is 600 level, it's going to be a key point for the Lam Research. If it goes down, that's going to go down all the way to 520. So we'll see how it goes. June is going to be tricky. I tell you, June is going to be tricky for the market. Moving on to financial sectors, XLF, just the doji bar, nothing spectacular, but I believe they are getting interesting, especially KRE. I'm kind of like interested to get into those regional banks. KBE, which is large cap bank ETF, nice bullish consolidation here. It needs to hold up pretty well here. So if it holds up pretty well here, then we can see more consolidation to pop to the upside. I don't know if it's gonna close this, but if it goes above this, I should say it can just break through to 40, 42, 43. Those are the next levels, all right? Moving on to the KRE. KRE forms better, to be honest. This bullish consolidation needs to hold this pivotal point. If this one holds, then it's gonna be the first one breaking through this ending diagonal, ugly ending diagonal, because this one goes down here, but sometimes happens. So this breakout could end up to 49. So it's going to be like almost, I should say, 20 to 25% to the upside. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to JP Morgan. JP Morgan, positive today. I like this stock. I have it. I don't want to sell it. I will add more if it goes down. Goldman Sachs, $1.18 down. Wells Fargo, 25 cents down. Nice bullish consolidation here. Citigroup, just start negative, but ended up positive. This is a bullish action. Moving on to the gold miners, they got into my area. So that's why I see both charts, gold and gold miners. They are pretty interesting right now. So gold miners, definitely in buying area. It's worth to have it. GDX, keep an eye on this. I think it's kind of like a nailing the bottom, or lots of opportunities going to be there. So it's kind of like this is kind of interesting. It's kind of like educational. This is the supply goes down, demand forms here, goes up. Right now we are back testing this demand. So just based on the price action, I should say gold miners are in buying opportunity. GDXJ, the same pattern here we got here, just a small, but if I move here, so this is kind of like the same pattern. So here's the supply, here's the not a good shape demand, but if we rely on the GDX previous chart, this is kind of like a demand area, buying opportunity. AEM, this is kind of like getting close to this demand area, rejected nicely. NEM, lower low, getting back to this demand area, forming up pretty well. We need to see a reaction. Franco-Nevada, this one doesn't look good, but gets back to this consolidation breakout to the upside. Not a bad shape, actually, if it holds up here. Gold Barrick going up to this, going down to this gap. I would say this is kind of like end of the corrective move to the downside. Still, we are above this, so don't worry about it. Energy, the last sector, it was negative, ugly, but look what happened. Despite of crude price action, energy stocks did well. I should say did well, not because they're negative. It's not well, just because buyers are coming back here. So we just give a market benefit of doubt to see how it goes. But right now, energy stocks hold up for now. So probably this tells something. XOP, oil and gas exploration ETF, the same pattern. OIH, the same pattern. Exxon, the same pattern. You see that gap down, but took controlled by buyers. Chevron, again, nice candle. However, it was negative, but nice candle. Oxy, again, nice candle here. So if you just look at the price and look at if it is red or green, it doesn't tell you anything. But if you look at the overall pattern and see and compare it against the other ones, this tells you probably they just want to fight back for bulls to take control. Rig, pretty nice candle, to be honest. This hammer is pretty nice. So this is very, very bullish. It goes below this stop hunt wide range bar, but keep fighting back. Look at that. So this one goes above it. If it takes out this pivotal point, I should say Rig can go to new all-time, not new, sorry, $12 stocks right now. So right now it's at $6. That's going to be interesting. If it take out to the downside, they're going all the way to 3.5 or $4 stocks. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I believe I covered everything. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.